There was no attempt in humor at all in what he said. And as a matter of fact, it was a lie. Now, as you pointed to, Will, since the 1960s, you have to get a license to broadcast. This isn't Netflix. This isn't cable. This is broadcast TV. And when you have broadcast TV, you have to, the airwaves are owned by the public.
Why do they think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues? That's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should, isn't that?
Rob Schneider just dove headfirst into the Jimmy Kimmel fiasco, and it's brutal. The comedy legend shredded late night's woke mascot after his ABC firing, and nobody saw it coming. The left assumed Rob would defend a fellow comic. Instead, he launched a full-blown comedic ambush that left jaws hanging. No sympathy, no soft landings, just scorched earth. Buckle up. This roast belongs in the history books.
Joining me now to figure all this out is actor and comedian Rob Schneider. Rob, it's great to see you here today. Are you chilled? Are you in fear for the future of comedy and free speech?
Well, Will, first of all, I woke up this morning to the incredible shock that apparently TV shows are not guaranteed in our Constitution. I mean, wow. So that was tough to swallow. First.
Rob's first strike. A savage reminder that TV jobs aren't protected by the Constitution. Free speech means the government can't silence you. It doesn't mean your boss has to bankroll your nonsense. Networks have every right to cut dead weight if you threaten their bottom line. And Rob didn't just say it. He mocked the left's meltdown with sniper precision, reminding them, if you want to spew and still keep the paycheck, buy your own network. Until then, accountability rules.
I'm still waiting for the left, the liberals, to get outraged about Roseanne getting fired for her free speech. And then I'm also waiting, I've been waiting a long time for the left and the Democrats, especially the Democrats on Capitol Hill, for the Twitter files that released that the Biden-Harris administration was actually using the government to pressure Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and especially Twitter to actually censor actual Americans through the government.
Then Rob dropped a truth bomb the left couldn't dodge. Where was the outrage when Roseanne Barr got axed by ABC? Back then. Crickets. Rob made it clear he wasn't excusing Roseanne's words, but he exposed the hypocrisy. Cheer the firing of someone you hate, then scream injustice when it's your guy? That's not principle. That's politics. And hypocrisy, Rob said, will always be the ultimate punchline.
Here is you have capitalist pressure. Capitalist pressure is really important because what happens is you have to make money or you have to do something of value so that you can get something in return. Now, the interesting thing is it's false advertising because honestly, look, Jimmy Kimmel can be funny, and I don't mean to take anything away from that, but the fact of the matter, can you remember a political joke that went viral what was something really funny of his? There was no attempt in humor at all in what he...
Rob also reminded everyone, censorship didn't start here. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris pressured platforms like Twitter and Facebook to silence voices they didn't like. Those same fact-check tools the left once celebrated? They're the reason nobody's buying the victim narrative now. If you supported policing speech when it targeted your opponents, don't cry foul when the trap you set catches your own. Hypocrisy is coming back with interest.
As a matter of fact, it was a lie. Now, as you pointed to, Will, since the 1960s, you have to get a license to broadcast. This isn't Netflix, this isn't cable, this is broadcast TV. And when you have broadcast TV, you have to, the airwaves are owned by the public. And to get that license, you have to be in the interest, like you said, of the public. And so that's why when there's a news van parked in the white zone, they don't get a ticket because they are there to present news to inform the public in the public interest. So what happens is 25% originally was supposed to be the news to inform it, just to get that license. So when you absolutely lie to the public, then you are no longer in the public interest, like Jimmy Kimmel did.
And here's the part the woke mob refuses to face. Jimmy Kimmel wasn't censored, he sabotaged himself. Nobody forced him to run cheap, partisan jabs on national TV. He chose to gamble credibility for clout. And when the facts blew up in his face, so did his career. That's not an attack on free speech. That's called consequences.
It actually was something dangerous. So with the FCC chairman, he didn't say that he was going to pull the license. He was going to give them a warning and ask for an apology, what I understood on the Benny Johnson show. And so that's not the government doing it. And when 246 different stations around the country say we're no longer airing this, it's because they heard from their consumers. They heard from their customers. And they said, that's it. We're not doing it. And so Nexstar, who's a great guy over there, Sean Compton, said, that's it. He's the CEO and said, when we have complaints like this and none of the channels, 246.
Rob then torched the government conspiracy theory. This wasn't Washington pulling strings. ABC made the call, simple as that. Even the FCC wasn't planning to punish Kimmel beyond maybe an apology. But the network didn't want half measures. They wanted credibility. So they cut ties. No censorship. No political persecution. Just business. Intro 7.
I'd just like to say this in defense of people who can get absolutely entrapped into this political echo chamber. And that's what happened to, I mean, in my opinion, what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. I heard him talking on some podcast with another comedian, and it's easy to get trapped in your political echo chamber.
And that's the real story. Kimmel started with jokes about Donald Trump and MAGA, but he didn't stop there. Over time, he morphed from comedian into partisan mouthpiece, parroting cable news talking points night after night. Instead of sparking laughter, he fueled division. And once comedy takes a backseat to politics, the audience notices. That's what doomed him.
Right about you have to bring value to your employer. You also have to serve, as you pointed out with the FCC's regulation, the public interest. Now, no one denies that you or Jimmy Kimmel can have your opinion, but it's where you use that opinion and on what platform. And there was a time, Rob, when late night hosts seemed to understand that balance a little bit better. And I just wanted to, with you and our viewers, remember together Johnny Carson.
Because here's the truth. TV hosts carry real weight. Their words ripple into millions of homes. That reach demands responsibility. If you skew every punchline toward one side, you're not a comic anymore. You're a propagandist. Great hosts know how to balance, criticizing both sides, delivering laughs without turning into campaign rallies. That's what builds trust. That's what Kimmel lost.
Why do they think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues? That's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should, isn't it?
Look back at Johnny Carson. He set the gold standard. Funny, sharp, and never partisan. People tuned in to laugh, not to be lectured. Today's late-night landscape. Political soapboxes pretending to be comedy, hammering Trump night after night with the same tired lines. Instead of laughter, viewers get eye rolls. Carson united. Today's hosts divide. And the magic is gone.
I agree with Johnny 100%. Well, Johnny Carson was unique in the sense that you don't really know if he leaned left or right. Sometimes he leaned left, sometimes he leaned right, but he was there to get laughs, and he realized what people wanted to do. And I remember, like, as you know, when we were little kids climbing into our mom and daddy's bed when they let us stay up late on a Friday, and we'd watch Johnny Carson, we'd all laugh together because Johnny was there to...
At the end of the day, Rob Schneider's takedown wasn't just about Jimmy Kimmel losing a job. It was about exposing hypocrisy, double standards, and the decay of late-night comedy. Free speech doesn't guarantee a paycheck. Hypocrisy always comes back around. And Carson's ghost still lingers, reminding us that comedy once made America laugh, not split apart. That's the real lesson in Kimmel's downfall.